Hey drummers, Garey Williams is back with another reaction and analysis video. This time we're going to check out the great Steve Smith. This is an organ trio, more of a straight ahead jazz type of thing. But here we go. Nice drags. Love the double swing up there. Slam accents, slam taps. Sevens. Yeah, nice. Slam that too. Yeah. Seven. Slam accents. Yep. Nice. Yep. Okay, pausing it right there. Okay, so we went through the head. When Johnny Comes Marching Home. It's a 16 measure head, and they played it twice. Okay, and so right after they did the head twice, which means the tune's melody 2 times through, then now we got the guitar solo. He's already done a couple of choruses, meaning he's gone through the whole form a couple of times now, and that's a 16-bar form. Of course, if you want to double, it's 32, so he went through the whole 32. And so that's what's going on. Now, notice no bass player, guitar player. Hammond B3, so he's doing keyboard bass. If you look underneath the ride cymbal by Steve Smith's right hand, you can see these little wooden peg kind of pedals. So he's actually playing the bass line with his feet. For those of you not hip to that, that's called Hammond B3 bass lines with his playing on top. So here we go, more. Okay, I'm going to pause here. Now, it's a kind of a good shot looking right up at Steve like this. Now, you see his knee is almost below the bottom hoop of the snare drum. And notice how his hip is way up high. So he's got definitely a higher profile on the drum stool. He's sitting up with more of an angled position, more on top of the drum set. And he probably sets up like this with his Journey kit, but this is typical of a lot of jazz drummers. As you're playing on tops of the cymbals, you want to be a little bit above the drums. And generally the tuning is higher, and so you can use rebound on the toms, so you don't have to always use push-pull. There's enough actual bounce to be able to pull that off. So that's just a good analysis where his belt is actually right up there toward the top of the counter hoop of the snare drum. So cool. Okay, I'm going to pause right there. That's going on. He's hearing that head, that melody, and he's singing it in the background. He's doing a lot of that kind of rudimental stuff, flam taps, flam accents, some Swiss Army triplets, and there's a real cool thing where he's doing some actual paradiddles and triplets, really kind of polyrhythmic stuff. Great handwork, nice shaping of the sound, rim shots back here, really working the zones of the drum, getting all the personalities out of that snare drum, not just playing in one area, not just playing in one way. So some very cool stuff happening here. So I just wanted to point out that he's soloing all like over the form, like all the other musicians do, over this 32 bar form. Single strokes between right hand, left foot, left foot. Love the crossover when you did that. Louis Billson, buddy. Nice. Yep. Beautiful. Gosh, great solo. There we go again. Yeah! like the end of rock and roll. Zeppelin. Yeah, right on. Oh, God, Steve, buddy, you are swinging, brother. Let's shut you down. We talk about this. Oh, that was some cool stuff. God, the guy is such an amazing, amazing musician. What a command of the instrument, huh? Some great hand technique, obviously. Study with the great Freddie Gruber. That's where Neil Peart was influenced by watching Steve and noticing how much he'd improved, and certainly focused a lot more on his jazz drumming in this later portion of his career. I think all of us were introduced to him with Journey. I certainly was when I heard a solo from a Journey Escape album at some kind of a party when the door was open, and the drum solo just blew me away. So I went to go see Steve with Journey. And of course, I followed him with Vital Information, actually from the very beginning. And then more recently, I haven't been as in touch with his playing, but he's definitely gotten a lot more into the straight head stuff, and it's swinging a lot harder than I remember him in the earlier days. Not that he didn't swing, but just now it's just like, wow, really great. Good concept of form, shape, dynamics, all the things, different kind of field changes. He definitely threw in some of his stuff there. I thought that was an interesting little drum cadence at the end that was very, like very much like rock and roll of Zeppelin. And I think Bonham got that idea originally from Carmine Appice or Appice, from a recording that he did where he did a little brief solo. And some of that was actually very close to the way John Bonham played his solo at the end of rock and roll. There's a legacy back for all these great drummers. They had a great drummer that they were inspired by and influenced by and took their ideas. So, wow. Could break some of that stuff down more. A lot of the classic Steve Smith stuff, right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. So that single stroke roll thing that he gets going very well, and he doesn't triplets with one hand. He shifted hands, and he does counter rhythms on that. He's done that for many years ago. The guy still practices, I'm sure, as much as he can. He used to say he'd practice a couple hours a day still. He's already playing at the top of his game, and he keeps wanting to push it. He's kind of like the ultimate student where he's always pressing his skill set and developing all these different techniques. So very fun to see him. Very more of a powerful player in his approach to jazz. The cymbal side of things is really coming out. As I heard him earlier, more from the rock side, where you're more of a drum-driven drummer, and then when you get into jazz, you really work the top end of the set, the cymbals, and really develop that whole aspect of your playing. So anyways, what can we say? The great Steve Smith. I'd like to do a reaction and analysis video of his playing with Journey, so we can hear him in his classic arena rock concert style drum solo, which will be really epic, I'm sure. So hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and let me know if you want any instruction. I got private lesson information down below, courses I offer, and can share with you how to build this kind of hand technique so you can play these things that you hear him playing and other great drummers that I react and do analysis for. So until then, have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.